The front camera has a very good resolution and also different angles actually. Here in this view, for example, is wide angle, but it looks more down, that you can really see what's going on here. So I really have to go down here all the way to the road. And I'm very, very close to the camera here, by the way. So probably closer than expected, right? The Mazda CX-5 is still a very popular compact SUV, and now it comes as a facelift here with Thomas and Autogefuel. Show you all the details. The front grille has a new design, a little bit more rectangular, stronger, wider, and also with this new structure on the inside here in a special sporty trim, which is very interesting indeed. And also new LED lamps here in the front, optional with a matrix LED, which now also features even more single LEDs. And here we see an interesting comparison here in the front with the chrome and also the lower parts a little bit different. Everything in black right here, also the lower bumper and this additional red decor small element on the other side. 4.58 meters or 181 inches is the length of the CX-5. Changes, they did some chassis optimizations and also noise dampening we see in the driving part, if that works. And here it's very interesting, you can see 19-inch wheels, the biggest one available, starts at 17 on both vehicles we have here, but you can see here with painted wheel arches in vehicle color. This one is called Soul Crystal Red, or for example in the German market it's called Magma Red. Magma in the market, yeah. And then here we have black wheels and black painted accentuations around the wheel arches. Gives a more sinister look, also here with the black contrast and the side mirrors. So overall a very nice and sporty look. This one of course even sportier. Which one would you go for actually? In the rear, news here with a new LED signature, so from LED technology and also different signature, pretty modern and cool. And also a new rear bumper, and in this top sports trim is also a high gloss black around then here. And the facelift also brings a very interesting new color. This is called Circan Sand, maybe a little bit military camo style or something. It is indeed daring, but yeah, why not? What do you think? Tell me in the comments. As engines, in some markets you still get the 2.2 liter diesel. Other than that, main engines either the 2 liter petrol engine, 4-cylinder, or the 2.5 liter one. We have it here today, around 200 horsepower. All-wheel drive is also available. And in the US you also get this one here, turbocharged, then with 50 horsepower more. This is the car key. That is not that premium-like. So, door closing sound. That's actually quite good, and you can see also here how the doors are aligned. It's actually a good build quality. Of course, Mazda does not want to be premium in the first place, but they have increased the build quality over the years massively indeed. You can also see soft touch here, contrast stitches. You have also like a sporty insert right here. And you can see here there's also the sports line on the interior, also with red stitches or red stitching here on the inside of the steering wheel. Still normal buttons at the steering wheel, that's good. Better than hashtag capacitive BS for sure. As for seats, this is here animal skin in this case, but you can get in the UK, in Germany, a black leatherette that looks almost the same. In the UK you can also get a beige leatherette, and the base would be just fabric seats anyway. And now with the so-called new ground trim level, not available in all markets, you can also get a microfiber on the inside and leatherette on the outside. That looks pretty spectacular, doesn't it? Getting on the inside, compact SUV style, and you already have an upright seating position. Is a very good, let's say, standard vehicle in a way that you can do a lot with it. It's not too long, it's not too short. Tall people already feel at home, and headroom massive with 1.86 meters or 6'1". And another short look at this new ground special edition model. It's really interesting, these neon green accentuations, for example. They are also quite daring. Not sure if this is necessary. Also here around the seat, maybe just in grey would have been more suitable for everyone. But the cool thing about this seat here, that the first time we see here a microfiber seat then for the CX-5, and the outside then is also leatherette. So that's of course pretty cool. So a very high class animal-free seat. And what about the comfort? Let's see. Yeah, I mean the same base ergonomics, which are actually good, and yeah, the microfiber actually makes it also quite cozy. So I would like this seat, but maybe more in a subtle nuance that, for example, the contrast are in grey. That would be really cool. Also, tell me in the comments what you think about this. Straightforward interior, 10.25-inch screen, so more deals with that. Here again, soft touch. This leatherette looks actually quite cool, and we still have manual climate dials, so Yeah, the car is somewhat conservative, but there are also good things to be conservative in this case here for cars, also with metal knurling around. Then we have the automatic gearbox, and also there's a new drive selector when you have auto gearbox and all-wheel drive, which we have here. It also now features a special off-road mode, which then changes something of the stability control and so on. And up there is more towards the so-called sport mode. Inductive charging pad is now new here in the front, actually, and then more to the rear you control the infotainment system from here, because it's not a touchscreen. Intentionally, they say. Here, adaptive cup holders, they hold the bottles quite tight, and then you also have a soft surface here for the middle storage, and not sure what I thought about that. So there's a cable for the smartphone, but then you cannot really put it here. But then there's this hole that you can have the smartphone here, but then you put them in the cup holders, or not sure how they thought about that. Yeah, then there's more space underneath. The front camera has a very good resolution and also different angles actually. Here in this view, for example, is wide angle, but it looks more down, that you can really see what's going on here. So I really have to go down here all the way throughout. And I'm very, very close to the camera here, by the way. So probably closer than expected, right? And then there's a side mirror view, so that you can see that you don't damage your alloys. You can see here, I can fly into the picture with my hand. It looks pretty weird then, right? Because of the wide angle once again, but really helpful definitely here. You can see that you don't damage your wheels. This is all in this 360-degree camera package, and the rear view camera, this is a standard one, you can see has a very good resolution now. And rest of the infotainment, said here, Mazda says no touchscreen due to safety reasons, but they kept it quite simple, so you can also more or less control it then with this thing from below. This is then the map view, for example, actually quite clear, but I mean, like to hover in the map is then not that easy. You do it and also with that lower control stick, for example. Other than that, you also have the Apple CarPlay integration, and then you can, scroll like that. So yeah, it's okay. And this car is also equipped with the Bose sound system, and I have to say, it's quite decent sound indeed. So for music lovers, should go for that one. Instruments, a mix of analog and digital, so the outsides are analog and the inside here, there's a small screen. Then you can see here also when I put the sport mode, it becomes red, and here in the off-road mode there's more yellowish tone. And you can also get a head-up display, small but useful. If you care about installing child seats, got something for you. Look at that, rear doors almost open 90 degrees. That's really cool. And also build quality wise, really good. So look at that. Soft touch here on the top part already with leatherette, and even softer here. So good comfort there also for the rear passengers. And you can see here the basic setup. Let's see how much legroom we have actually. So this is the seat as I would be driving, and it comes close indeed. So I do, hit the back part here. So not too much legroom. Headroom, however, is pretty sufficient. Of course, it's not the longest vehicle, but in general, the seating comfort in the rear is actually quite decent. You can also get an electric hatch for the trunk here, now 522 liters, so it gained a couple of liters actually with that facelift. The length is here at 95 centimeters or 37 inches, and the width, let's see, yeah, that's the standard. A good meter or 40 inches, even a little bit more, even in the lower part and even higher than in the upper part. Easy here with that cabin trolley, of course. Underneath here, let's see, we have some more space, so quite spacious trunk indeed. And then we can fold the seats, and that's very interesting. We can do it like this. There's also a single folding just for the ski hatch, and then here we go, the third one. So we have to push it here, and yeah, it seems like they fixed it here. Last time we had the Cx5, it was not that good from a build quality here, but this transition now is a little bit better, definitely. And the overall length to the front seats we're driving is here at 1.65 meters or 65 inches. Interesting, by the way, listen to this. So when you just do the startup, that exhaust here from the 2.5 natural aspirated engine, sounds quite kind of sporty, right? With the startup, but when you hit the throttle, yeah, then it doesn't sound that sporty. But in the idle mode, just like this, quite sporty, right? Thomas's driving lounge with the Mazda Cx5. That, well, it's not a classic vehicle, but a classic model, so to speak, one of their all-rounders and evergreens. And we have it here with a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated engine, the big petrol engine, here with around 200 horsepower without the turbocharger. In the US, there's also the stronger one with a turbocharger available. We have this new drive mode selector here in the middle part, and we can also go to the sports mode, for example. Oh, we have a great road surface here. And let's do one acceleration. We're now at 60 kilometers an hour. We just do a short, in-between sprint from 60 to 80. Plop, that's it. Yeah, and you hear this naturally aspirated engine, really going in the RPMs. Now we have to switch the motorway right here. Now one further, right? Yeah, one further. Yeah, we're around Barcelona here today, and gonna get used. Yeah, it's the first time this year for me actually in Barcelona. We can go back to the normal driving mode right here. It also switches a little bit in the instruments. Sports mode goes red, normal rather has this bright scheme. The Cx5 always good here in the steering, has a very natural steering feeling, so it doesn't feel artificial at all, and it's also very precise. You can see it also here in that corner. They have, for this facelift here, worked on the noise insulation and also a little bit some chassis details and so on, and especially now when we have here a very good road surface, you feel it's really more silent than before. So it is not the most astonishing all-new vehicle whatsoever. It's not all electric yet and so on, but it does everything very well what it's designed to do for. And here, around 80 kilometers an hour, so like 50 miles an hour, it is very, very silent. So as for the noise insulation, feels really sophisticated, and indeed we feel some improvement. Soon we'll also head out to the mountains, have some more winding roads, then we can also check out how it is for the driving agility and so on. Blind spot monitor is here in the side mirrors. It's a good feature, and when you hit the turning indicator, it's also blinking and also gave this acoustic warning. Sorry if I irritated someone now, but yeah, that's for testing purposes definitely. Here once again, let me go to the sport mode one more time. And then, yeah, it's a nice red color we have here. Then we go from 75 kilometers an hour. Let's do another acceleration and let's go. Plop, that's 100. So you see, you can still accelerate on the motorway. It does sound a little bit, that it would be stressed out. That's the thing when you don't have that turbo. Other than that, when you keep it at low RPMs, it's also reasonably silent. That's the thing with the naturally aspirated engines. There's one less thing that can break. There's no turbo, so it cannot break down. But then again, when you really want that power, when you really need it, you have to hammer the throttle and just work with high revs. So you have to go for that. Then you can also get the power out of these engines, definitely. Then lane change here, once again, very good as for the steering feeling. So since you also have the upright seating position, it's still a very good motorway vehicle. And here with the facelift, with the upgraded noise insulation, even a little bit calmer than also on longer journeys. Now some beautiful winding roads. That's the cool thing about Barcelona, by the way. It's of course a very vibrant city, also with a nice beach. But then you can drive out like 10-15 minutes and you're already in the mountains and have really nice routes. So here, let's go to the sport mode once again. Ooh, red background. And we have, we can test some slalom here. You can see, once again, natural steering feeling. And the car doesn't lean too much. However, suspension has found a good compromise actually. So it's not too stiff, it's not too soft, delivers you enough comfort without being too soft. I think very good here. Although we also have the big wheels that I've shown you earlier on this vehicle here. It's not that I will say like you need to have smaller wheels to have sufficient comfort or something. Here when we don't need the acceleration, we can also go to normal mode, just more relaxing to drive. However, if you want more comfort, of course, the smaller wheels will always do a good job because you just have more tire dampening, so to speak. And well, they did some changes here also to, like not structural changes, but some chassis optimization and also, they have this G vectoring control where in corners they take away some torque and add some torque at the outside of the, at the outgoing of the corner. So little optimizations. Does it feel like a completely different vehicle? No, not at all. Would I realize it when I drive a pre-facelift and a post-facelift that it drives differently? I mean, the noise insulation, yes, you do feel that, definitely. But driving agility-wise, maybe it's a little bit better, but it's not that I can really say that it's a huge difference. Well, and our final consumption for the day, around 7.5 liters on 1 kilometer, so that's about 35 mpg US or around 40 mpg UK. Quite okay for a vehicle with that engine then. Which other competitors to compare? VW Tiguan versus Hyundai Tucson, we have a video of that, or maybe the Nissan Qashqai. See you at these episodes.